A girl named Shirley is a nanny. After school, she goes home and quickly prepares for her part-time job. Michael picks her up, and they head to his house. There, they are greeted by his wife, Gail, their youngest son, Adam, and their oldest son, Mikey. When Michael and Gail leave, Shirley decides to explore the house. Meanwhile, Michael takes Gail to see some old locomotives and suggests they spend time together, but she prefers to return to the kids. When they get back home, they find Shirley cleaning the floor. Since it's late, Michael offers to drive her home. On the way, Shirley's stomach growls, so they stop for a bite to eat. After their meal, Michael shows her the trains. They spot a guard and hide in one of the train cars. Once the guard leaves, Michael kisses Shirley, and she kisses him back. A few minutes later, they sit in the car, and Michael apologizes while giving her the money she earned. Then she heads home. The next day after school, she and her friends Brenda and Melissa go to a coffee shop, where she catches Michael's eye. Gail approaches her and asks if she can babysit again, and Shirley agrees. The following evening, Shirley returns to their house. Michael drives her home again, and she helps him unwind. He pays her for her work, and they part ways. The next day, Shirley shares her experiences with her friend Melissa. At the same time, Michael brags to his friend Jerry about his relationship with Shirley. Later that evening, he calls her to say that Jerry also needs a nanny. Shirley suggests her friend could earn some money, leading to Jerry and Melissa spending time together.
So what's your favorite subject?
Eventually, Shirley and her friend attend a party, where she meets Brenda's stepbrother Scott, who offers her a ride home after the party, and she agrees. Later, Melissa approaches Shirley and asks if there's any work available. Shirley replies that they have many orders and doubts, that just the two of them can handle it. Melissa suggests hiring another girl, Brenda, and Shirley agrees. At the end of the party, Shirley waits outside for Melissa, but Scott comes out and tries to kiss her, missing slightly. After a brief, awkward moment, Melissa appears, and Scott leaves. When Shirley gets home, Michael sneaks in through her window. Just then, Shirley's father enters the room, asking for a Band-Aid. Noticing her unease, he tries to ask her what's wrong, but she doesn't respond, so he leaves. Once the door's closed, Michael crawls out from under the bed, and they decide to continue their activities. That evening, Brenda meets Mark in the woods. He starts to bother her, but she tells him to stop. Realizing that Brenda is unaware of the extra work, he apologizes and asks to take her picture, complimenting her beauty. Shirley and Melissa find Brenda and tell her she doesn't have to do this, but Brenda chooses to become a nanny anyway. From that point on, their business becomes very profitable, and they even create their own business cards. The next evening, Michael meets Shirley and asks her to stop, but she insists she makes $200 a day, which is good money for her, and then she gets out of the car. Michael runs after her, expressing that he thought they were in love, but Shirley seems indifferent to his words. Brenda increases her price for Michael. He pays her, and she walks away. The following day, Brenda shows off her jacket to her sister Nadine and suggests buying one for her. Nadine replies that she won't get any pocket money until her grades improve, so Brenda proposes that Nadine become a nanny.
I'm busy tonight, so is it okay if Nadine sits?
Could I get both of you?
At school, Shirley wonders why Brenda didn't work the day before, just as Nadine joins them. When she learns about the new addition, Shirley insists she should get 20% of each order, since she arranges all the meetings. A few days later, Shirley sees Nadine and her friends wearing fancy clothes and notices fewer calls coming in. Later, they confront Brenda, asking if her sister is taking clients. Brenda claims she doesn't know and walks away. Feeling something is off, Shirley and Melissa visit the school in the evening. They break into Nadine's locker but find nothing. To avoid suspicion, Shirley decides to cause chaos at the school. The next day, Shirley talks to Nadine and lets her go. Melissa suggests they take a break since Jerry's inviting everyone to his country house. At the party, they start having a good time. The next morning, everyone has a terrible headache, and Jerry offers medicine, which makes everyone act oddly. Brenda feels unwell and heads to the bathroom. Jerry notices and follows her to help. Brenda starts feeling worse, and when Jerry approaches to comfort her, she begins to cry. Seeing this, Jerry leaves. The next day, Brenda is with the kids, but suddenly has a fit and calls Scott. He takes her home, and she locks herself in her room. During class, Brenda tells Shirley she doesn't want to work anymore. Melissa then tells Shirley that they can't let Brenda quit. She believes that Brenda will spill all the secrets. That evening, Scott returns home and is attacked and beaten up. They threaten him, insisting that his sister should keep quiet, or else she will be in danger. At school, Shirley sees Scott with a black eye and then tells Melissa to stay away from her. Meanwhile, Gail talks to Michael about their son cursing at school and asks him to have a word with him. He gives Mikey some money for pizza and heads to find Shirley. Michael confesses that he can't live without her and would do anything for her. Shirley responds that it's too late, and then a security guard interrupts them, saying they can't be there because it's private property. The guard doesn't see Shirley and forces Michael to leave. After getting off the train, she calls Brenda, but Scott answers and tells her Brenda's busy and that Nadine is watching the kids, warning her not to call again. Shirley then calls Melissa, saying Nadine is causing trouble again. They quickly find her and try to intimidate her. When she turns around, she sees Nadine's father, which makes her cry. The film ends with a scene of Shirley driving up to Michael's house to say goodbye, then getting into the car and driving away. Please subscribe to see more recaps like this.